All right, welcome back to the show. And today, you're sitting here with Daryl,
Graham,
Chris. But we have a very special guest today. We have a man who's quickly becoming a musical icon in his own rights, with multi-million plays across Spotify and SoundClouds, tens and tens of thousands of active listeners every single month. The man has been around the world performing music, bringing island sound to blessed ears all over the world. He's been
representing
all over the world on many different continents. You can barely find him here in Hollanda because he's always
booked and busy.
Boy's working.
Yeah.
And he's quickly becoming one of the musical darlings of the islands as well, with an iconic sound, iconic vibe. People just can't wait to line up to hear his music. And our good homie too, Tera Kòrá, Joshua. Thank you for being here. Let's give one of these. Give him one of those.
Thank you guys for having me, man. If there was wine involved, I think you'd want to fuck me, man.
Hey, man. We still got time.
And go to Albert Heijn real quick, you know.
No, thanks, man. That was a dopest intro that I've had till now. So I appreciate that.
Deserving of all of it, man. Because what you've been doing, and like what seems like a short time, because like we've been following you for a long time. So like time kind of melts together, and when you stack everything up and look what you're doing, like damn, this guy has been busy as a motherfucker. Like,
yeah, bro. Busy.
And every time I just run into you somewhere, I'm all like, oh look, you do actually live in Hollanda, because you're not just in Asia or what's it going?
No, I just don't post enough. So people just think I only post when I'm at interesting places, and people are like, oh cool, he lives there now.
This guy eats breakfast. Who would have thought?
Before we started, I had to ask him like, hey, where do you live? Because I have no idea, because I see him all over the place.
Too many fans, If you just let people know where he lives, then he's never gonna get away from it.
Swarmed. Yeah.
Well, we're curious because like we just said, you've gone to the point now where you have played all over the world. You have hundreds of thousands of fans who listen to your music. You've also recently released your new album, so you've been busy, but it has to come from somewhere. It has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're an island boy just like us. And we're curious, how do you get from a dude growing up in Curaçao to, becoming a musical pioneer in your own rights? Like, how was your childhood like? How was growing up in Curaçao for you?
Dus eigenlijk naast de Hollanda. So my moeder bij Curaçao ku 6 anos. My dad is from Curaçao, from Tera Kòrá. That's where he grew up. And my mom is from really close by, from a village. So my parents met here in Hollanda, and then my grandmother, so like my dad's mom, passed away when I was 6, and my dad was very it affected my dad a lot, and then so somehow we ended up moving to Tera Kòrá, which in my grandma's house, zeg maar.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
Dad wanted to be close to home.
Yeah, I think so. Anto, ik wil je gewoon is it okay to speak Papiamento? Yeah, right. That we're doing it like the way we were raised.
You can't run in Tera Kòrá and not speak Papiamento.
Dus Jinana mag gewoon. I guess I got to know the other half of who I am.
Yeah.
And it really sparked a lot of it did a lot to me. Maar bij basisschool in Nandambia.
Kaschool bij.
Alice Juliana.
Okay.
So.
Gotta check.
Nobody knows that shit. Nah, I ain't heard of that one.
You look like I'm with Spicer guy.
Sounds right.
Yeah, man. Dus,
maybe it was like in the hood or something. Was like, maybe that influenced also your music.
Mani una coita.
Gewoon din Tera Kòrá.
Den Tera Kòrá mes.
Okay. So if you're not from Tera Kòrá,
yeah, exactly. You wouldn't know. Because
as small as the island.
The Lord of the Anchi
Okay.
Dus, and I mean, I was the only überhaupt like the only white passing kid at school, and nobody spoke Dutch. Like, I had Nederlandse les.
Yeah.
But like there was no one that looked like me or that, you know what I mean? My mom told me that within a year I spoke fluent Papiamento just because of...
You had to.
Onto you.
Yeah. When you're interacting with especially as a kid, it came really quickly. Anto, like in terms of, I guess, musical influences, my dad is a musician as well.
Okay.
And he's a Rastafarian, Rastaman.
Okay.
So like,
Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
I had dreads as a kid too.
We're staying there.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you gotta send us a pic. We gotta put up a picture.
You gotta bring those dreads back, my guy. Stay with it. So, what music did your dad make? Like Rasta music, like reggae?
Yeah, reggae,
Okay.
man. Like he was in reggae bands for years already, and so he just very much loved the Jamaican culture and you know that the religion.
So he's actually practicing Rastafari also.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So did you grow up that way too? Did you grow up like vegetarian and shit?
I don't know. That was a thing, but I guess not. That was it.
There's like levels of Rastafari. Was it?
I guess.
Like the dedicated, like real Rastas in Jamaica. They're like pure from the earth.
No, esto bata te kaki. Yeah. So like a lot of reggae music, dance hall, and like I think guess like my earliest influences of hip hop as well. He had like this big suitcase filled with like different like reggae artists and just Jamaican artists and some hip hop. Like I remember picking up before like Tupac in there, like one of the only hip hop ones. And
Wow.
what was the album called? Is it All Eyes on Me?
That's one of the albums.
That's the name of the album, right?
That's
So
one
I
of them,
found that. I just remember that. Like when I was like 7, finding that, and yeah, man. So dus ik kon gewoon a lot of those influences, and from my mom's side, it was a lot of like disco, like EGs, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
And my aunt got married. I remember, and we had like the CD from the Netherlands still that we took with us until the Blasco Symphony out. Like they made this like the CD with just like different like disco songs.
Okay, so like a hits.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
So I guess like those were the two most common like within the household like influences.
Pretty heavy influences, of course. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not your basic music. Was it going? It's like,
No, it's good shit.
Yeah.
Good music, man.
Yeah, but also very polarizing because like reggae and like disco, they're two completely different sides of the music spectrum. So that's really dope.
It's all black music, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like there's the thing they have in common most is is black music, and it's also they're both very groovy. You know what I mean? And I guess that I do feel like that's in my.
I thought you were gonna say like, and for my mom, I got like fucking the kroeg music.
No.
I was gonna say because that would be contrasting.
My mama kept up even up so for a reason. She don't fuck with that.
She found her people.
Yeah. She don't fuck with that.
But like, so early on already, you started getting your musical influence, and like with your dad being a musician, also I guess. Like we also grew up having music being an important part of our culture. Was like when you have a relationship with music.
Yeah.
Like for you, when did your relationship with music start turning into, hey, this is something I want to like do as a career. Like I want to make music as my vocation and everything. How does that happen? Because most people don't even know how to go about making a career out of music.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't happen overnight. You know, it starts off as a hobby. I was never like I played guitar when I was 15 to 16 for like a year. You know what I mean? I was not ribales. Pero outside of that, nada eigenlijk die tra-muziek. Dus orama being Bibolanda, the way that kind of went was I Groningen op studia psychologie. Like I wanted to become a neuropsychologist.
Nice.
And
didn't see that coming.
No,
but like most you go to be in a studio.
Exactly. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I guess the most interesting thing
psychology.
Seemed, the human
brain. Yeah,
exactly. And so, but I really quickly realized. I think also that first 6 months or like that first year is a little bit like struggling to adapt. Like I feel like a lot of us probably have experienced that.
Yeah.
Like you, but the Yegulanando.
Succes.
Die moest gewoon externo.
But de augustus, zomer, this ain't that bad. And then like November, December, that thing, you're like, why am I depressed, man? You know what I mean? So like, why do I feel this a certain way? And that's because all of a sudden you're used to this. You need to get used to this other environment that you're not being supplied with the vitamins that you get supplied with. Because of the sun, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so nobody tells you that either. Like I feel like I feel like we need to educate our like like young ones on that as well. Man, hey, cara dalbo, dalbo peel lang
But vooral the mental part of it, it's really a mental switch you need to do. Because cara, what being July, Augustus is nice, chill vibes. But it's November, December, what the sali kaskur. Nós não cantias, nós estamos acostumados com isso. Nós estamos solo boting. Ora, what the sali kas minta na band school, but the castas, kubona ya nung tiki solo. Okay, man, that's something besides the gewoon that the study is important, the financial part, but also the mentality that really needs to be taught and really needs to be.
And needs more attention. Job, so you're just so caught off guard.
And not for everyone that they can adapt quickly. For a lot of people, it's a struggle. Kung nanda buy back.
Bingo SSA or bingo so?
No, miso ko. Nice.
Smart.
But my baby, but Groningen tambe. So that's also you're far away from everyone that you know. Cause geen hond te vinden in Groningen. You know what I mean? Like Antiano see, but you know what I mean? So like Quinn moved there, so I kind of we hung out for a little while. But I feel like also at some point kind of like drifted apart, like into our own.
As you do.
And so like it is even wennen. But like so to come back to the question, I did the psychology, dropped out after like 6 months, and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I was working like a couple of like small jobs, like I was selling like football abonnementen on the street, like for this company. Straatverkoop. Bro, that's one of the worst jobs.
You were scamming people.
But it makes you resilient to rejection as a motherfucker, bro.
That's very fair.
Because I miss that with my brother.
Like they
report.
Yeah, free with that report, no you.
So I did like I was selling shawarma for this guy in his car. Somehow he had bachata CDs in there, but he was from Morocco. It's really funny.
Wait. He was selling food out of his car, like a food truck, or like out of his car?
No. Like I was driving his car to like deliver food.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I thought he's opening up the back of his car, like, hey, you want some shawarma?
And then somehow I met this guy at this bar. He was the bar manager there, Yukoso. And you have that connection right away when you feel that lack of
my people.
Exactly. So, and he was telling me that he wanted to like, because there was no DJ at that bar, and so he said like, I want to get some DJs in here, like I want to get things moving, Kikio, and that's I kind of bluffed, like I was like, say I DJ, I didn't know shit, you know what I mean, until somehow he said yes, and I was like, I think like out of desperation, I was just like, I want to try new shit, And then I had to start a week after. Dus bij kaas, helaas stupida saying, maar bestel een DJ set is €50. En dan gewoon in my 9 vierkante meter, one person bed room, just fucking mixing my life away, man. Like trying to
make something happen.
Yeah, exactly. And then I ended up getting that position. But this was 2016, I believe. 16. And I was getting paid like €5.50 per uur gewoon per
DJ.
And I was doing this 3 times a week, 4 times a week from like 10 to like 3, 4 a.m. Dus gewoon echt uren. I remember one time King's Day, I'm toka pa just 2 horas, man.
Maar je raps Nancy? Maar je raps Nancy?
That's true. That's true. I got the
feestdagen vergoeding of nada?
Nada, man. Mes un fijo.
Een biertje.
Did you get like drinks on the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
The drinks were cool. Like it was like a cocktail bar too.
Gotta figure out how cruella moet het houden. Sounds cruella.
No.
Katibu works. Mix, boy.
Hey.
Sad. No. But yeah, it did help kind of like develop myself in that way. Anto Chinang, I just kind of kept doing it. Like started doing more spots. Like some people would walk in and be like, "Oh, like I know this place. You know what I mean? I like what you're doing." Anto asina ik that build. And then at some point, like a year after I started, I started to pick up producing as well. Anto asina ko that was the start of that.
So.
But when you were playing,
I feel like start from when you asked this question. It's like 10 minutes ahead.
That's what I want.
You have to pull me back to that because I got ADHD like a motherfucker. I will yap.
Pop,
I will yap.
yeah,
bro.
The less you talk, the better. I'm sorry, but so that's how the music found you then. Like you were just. A lot of people have a situation where they come here and they go for something for a study, and you gotta pick it out of a catalog. Not so was like, you never been here before, never been to the school. And a lot of people they kind of get disenfranchised with that, and then they gotta rediscover themselves.
Yeah.
And I thought you started making music go to Lola. I didn't even know that it took you to get here to do it.
Yeah. I had like messed around like once or twice at a buddy's house with FL Studio, but yeah, never.
I'm on that. But Pablo, sorry, go ahead.
But like, so when you were starting in the bars and stuff like that, you were playing. You weren't playing your own mixes yet, right? You were playing like tracks that were already set and like making a playlist kind of situation, or were you like mixing as well?
Yeah, I was mixing.
So you were creating your own music already at that point?
No, so mixing, as in I was mixing songs together, DJing, but I wasn't producing my own stuff, my own sounds yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did you have to do like a trial run to get the position? Because I'm assuming you weren't that good from the get-go.
No.
Or you were good enough to still get that position? Because how does that work? I'm assuming if you gotta, make something happen out of nowhere.
Yeah, I guess me get it. Like part of it, that was een gun factor.
Okay, so
yeah, and also, who else are you gonna get to DJ for €5, bro? I think that's also like
that guy saw you.
That's a very good point.
That's
a very good point.
I know this motherfucker ain't DJ, but it's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, this DJ's good, but this DJ's €5.
Yeah, so I was.
We have DJ at home.
yeah, letterlijk. So I was. I got like 4 trial runs, so like once a week that month, and then they were like, okay, let's
make it happen.
Yeah.
Did you have like a lot of Antianos back then also that would come listen to you and like get that gun factor also?
What do you mean?
But so I remember I went to a party in Groningen one time and look at a Chong. You know Chong?
Sir.
He was a DJ also.
Michael?
Sir.
Is that his name? His first name?
Yeah. And then we would go to where he was playing because he
Donovan's.
was playing. Yeah, because he was playing was a Kong. So like you get that gun factor from your own people and like I don't know about y'all, but like we hype the person, like even though he's playing good, but when Bashakoi was like because Bomendenang was a Kong. Did you get a lot of Antianos also like to come listen to your music and shit?
Not really. I would say where I was DJing was also pretty white. It was called the Drie Gezusters.
Oh yeah, that's it. It was a Roomba.
And we were like the exotic. There was like 3 rooms, and we were like the
urban.
The urban. I hate that term, but yeah. So you had like us, which was more like the Caribbean and
exotische mensen.
Then you had like a hard style room, and the other one was gewoon the face tent. Okay, man, that was like that went from any what I mean?
Everything flies.
Yes, yeah.
So then, how long did it take you from starting to make music then to start developing your sound? Because you have pretty iconic sound. Like when we put your music on, it really has a soul and a characteristic.
It's a vibe, man.
It feels very island music without having to be tambour or some stuff. But it has a soul to it. Yeah. And so how did it go about developing your own sound, becoming more Tera Kòrá as we know today?
I mean, definitely came naturally that way. But I at the same time, I always did want to appeal to a more international audience. You know what I mean? So maybe part of it came from that as well.
But I'm assuming your influences from Curaçao must have influenced that heavily, right? Like the music now and 100%. The career you took.
Yeah, 100%. Like definitely because before I didn't start with Tera Kòrá. I was doing trap music first, like EDM trap music.
That was also
I got into like
we were all young ones.
Yeah. It was definitely a phase. I got into like guys like Yellow Claw. You know what I mean? When they would come Taming Curaçao, Bermuda.
True.
They came to Bermuda and I was fucking mosh pitting, and because I came from going to like the Monster events.
The Monster gigs.
Yeah, you were playing there, right? Yeah.
Not very well, but
YouTube. Can you find it on YouTube? You look it up on YouTube.
Let's not do that.
I remember. I think it was at an event that you guys were playing. You guys played at Bermuda before, right? I remember I came to a Monster event, bro, and told me like there was just this skinny girl in the middle of these big dudes moshing.
Going crazy.
Knock the fuck out, bro. En toen pik ik gewoon lanta, Siggy bij. I was like, douche. Was gewoon daar een ice pack. Was gewoon like, daar een Sinta.
Dat is een monster Siggy,
That was a wild crowd, huh?
Yeah, it was just I feel like it was just a very wild phase time, like that side coming up, but cool time, like that diversity, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But aside, I kind of started with the trap stuff, and I was fucking terrible at it. And at some point, it just kind of died out as well, and I was just like, so I don't think there's a future for me in this space, because the top guys. Those are the only ones really making bread, and the rest, Dus,
so it's very saturated.
Yeah. And then eigenlijk the turning point of my sound came when I was met a Koreaanse stage at this guy's studio in Rotterdam. His name is Mucky, and Mucky made grime music, like UK grime stuff. And I saw him hier and daar, and I was like, oh, like let me go to stage in Singapore, because they didn't have a stage place. And he was doing all the productions for this artist named Sef Dalisa, which is, I don't know if you guys know her, but she's like I think she's Iranian raised na Rotterdam, and she's huge now, like massive. She just did a track with Anita, and like has like a top world hits. So I was working a lot with them, and I had a lot of free time during that stage, and during that period, mitawat akong experiment, you know. This Georgia Smith song came out called "On My Mind." I don't know if you guys know that track, and I flipped this acoustic version and kind of creating like a dance hall-achtige beat under it, and very like soulful sounds and very lush, etc. And I let them hear it, and they were like, "Oh, this shit hard. Like this is dope." And he told me to put it out, or they told me to put it out, and I put the SoundCloud on like a empty SoundCloud. I already had the name Tera Kòrá in my mind for a little bit, and so I called my SoundCloud that, and it ended up getting like 100,000 plays within the first month on like an empty account, and that was so unfathomable to me.
Super gratifying.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? I was happy with 1,000 plays before, you know what I mean? I was like, a meal celebration was
it?
But yeah, so that did kind of that initial gratification did make me be like, okay, I think there's something here. And that's how I kind of started to build on that sound, and taking more inspirations from home. And that's how I started shaping Tera Kòrá, essentially.
Because you have, like I said, a pretty iconic sound. You can really hear the island Caribbean tribal music in it, the dance hall, the reggaeton, and the boom bap and stuff like that. There's a lot of like Afro influences in there for sure. Like you also have mentioned, or we've heard that like you're one of the pioneers of soul swing. One of the guys that what's actually a soul swing?
That's what I named. I was like, I feel like the sound wasn't there yet, and so I wanted to give it a name, because I wasn't sure what to call it, and I guess the soul came from like, you know, the soulful chords, the R&B influences in there, and then the swing, you know, like the groove, the bounce that came in, that would be in every track. So that early Tera Kòrá was like that sound.
Okay. But did you have a defining moment where you realized, okay, I can actually make a career out of music, or I should take this seriously? Was there like a specific moment to you that you maybe remember? Wat man eerst zei, ik ook hier echt, maar mensen nou, wat dingen 100,000 views on SoundCloud, sorry. Dus dat die echt een moment op hebben, wat meneer, waar dat, laat me toen ook iets zeggen, ik ook hier proberen go.
So when do you abandon the plan B? It'd be like, no, this is what I'm going for.
It happened gradually, to be honest. Like, de prome aya kuma start Tera Kòrá, when I dropped the Georgia Smith remix. Actually, after that first remix, I got hit up by this guy from Tokyo, and he had this blog, and he was like, "Oh, I really like this song. I want to write a blog post about it." So still through Facebook and shit like that, and he was like, I might have some opportunities for you here. Like I know some guys, some venues. I didn't think too much of it because I feel like people promise a lot within the music industry. You know what I mean? So I didn't think too much of it, but I took him up on it. Anto nos akong eigenlijk hunto as I started dropping some more remixes and I garnered a bit more of a following. I would very specifically check out everyone that followed me, and I was like, oh, I could sometimes see the information from where they were from and or if they were like hosting a party or something like that. Anto asini nos set up mi por me as tour. Within the first year. So January I had dropped the Georgia Smith remix, and then December I was in Asia.
Wow.
Like a 4-5 show. Was akong
loco.
Some free para was akong like the most I got out of one was like €5 was akong,
not bad.
which was a lot for me at
a lot more than $5.50.
Come a long way.
But I did not break even. Like the tickets were was akong. Dus na banda mi mami dami kong pinasang anto I pulled from my savings anto made it happen anto asinim ginanang I kept getting invited back, and
it was like an investment.
Yeah, exactly. And na Europa tamin, and that was the mere van, oh hey, Amiki kind of came out of nowhere and bayendo inanang like bambuke anto sina
ball got rolling.
Started rolling until at some point I was making enough to make a bare minimum living.
Nice of something you love doing. Man.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, I was still in school and I was still, working. I was working at Vodafone at that moment. Until this, it wasn't like a constant, like an immediate switch. Very gradual. Oh, hey, I'm making enough to start to let this go. You know what I mean? And
you had to find the proof in the pudding first. You had to
100%.
Feel that, okay,
100%.
You can start letting other stuff go.
Yeah.
Because from our perspective, like we just see what you post online and stuff like that, and then it seemed, if you look online, that indeed it was gradual, but that you very quickly found your place in the music business.
Yeah.
Because again, that when that Asia tour happened, to us we damn. Boys traveling Asia.
He made it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it looks like.
Sad.
Moves. Because how does that feel? Because you coming from Curacao, such a small island, and you're all the way across the world in Asia. How do you? Because how do you comprehend that? Because
I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, bro. You just
go.
I think I just took a chance. I think that was a very defining moment, because if I would have just said, whatever, I don't believe this guy. And I wouldn't have shown that initiative to
Babayas here.
From my network and to DJ and to make something of it, or even take that chance, because but I'd never been to Asia before, and I was like, this shit is cool as hell. I need to do it, so.
Yeah, because right now, how many different countries have you played in? Like a rough estimate?
I got more flex.
Yeah. Misa, definitely, maybe 30 countries or something like that.
And it's not been in that long of a time span.
No. I mean,
2000,
early 2000. Yeah, so 6 años aquí. Get it from when I dropped the first track.
Wow.
You must have air miles.
Yeah. But I dropped into the Flying Blue program way too late. I missed out on a lot of shit.
I feel you.
But now, speaking of Asia, you have a pretty substantial fan base there. So you got your fans all over the world. Antianos love you. Your people. When you look at the videos of the fans in Asia, it just seems like they're like they're all over it. Not the scene hype.
Die hardcore.
So into it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Is it the how the fan base is there in general? Have you noticed the difference in different crowds and everything?
Yeah.
Because it seems like Asia loves the shit out of Tera Kòrá. Was it wrong?
Well, Asia also just has not all countries, but a lot of countries just have a bit more of there's more of a fan culture. Zeg maar, they really appreciate like what comes from the Western world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they just eat that shit up. So definitely a lot more. You really feel the love there.
So,
that's one of the things that I really appreciate. I remember during that first tour I did South Korea, I did Seoul, and like I could not like comprehend like what was going on. Like the crowd, like people knew the remixes. Terrell, I've never been there before.
Yeah.
So, but this was also, I got very lucky with this club because it was a club that built this audience that came there for the music, and the audience would do "Nantas in huiswerk." Was ik man? And for someone that's a nobody, you know what I mean? Yeah. For you to take your time and to be like, oh, like this guy is coming to perform, I need to check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
it's a good feeling, no?
Being open to it more.
Yeah, and not just having discovered the artist first or something, and that you're like, oh, hey, I know this guy, let me check it. But they had no idea who I was, but they took their time to. I mean, not echt meer kan passa kibo. Was ik niet man? Like
no.
I think that's a bigger testament to how good you are at your craft than people who like follow you out of gun factor or like they kind of fuck with you. Like seeing their response, because like we were doing our research for the podcast and shit. Seeing how wild people go there.
Yeah,
and then I don't know if you noticed, but it also seemed like once you've established that kind of impact in the crowds there and the families there, that in Europe it started happening more too. I think you also played a bunch of shows in Spain, time toch?
Yeah. Spain, I do regularly. I do like Barcelona, like this club, Razzmatazz.
That was it. And but you notice that the people like they kind of adopt that approach to your time, where like the crowds are getting more and more like dedicated fans and more like everyone's singing and everyone's going wild.
Yeah.
You see like even like the quiet guy in the corner like fucking like do like so like you really know how to work the crowd. The crowd really seems to respond to you and your sound.
Yeah, I mean like that's the hard part because and that's also the thing about social media. You don't see you don't see the lesser moments because they are also there. And they're I don't think anyone even like a let's say like a huge name. I don't think even like someone like Diplo is immune to still a crowd. Yeah, you know what I mean. It really depends where you come. And how you play in on that audience, because if you're a resident DJ like bijvoorbeeld Chong at Donovan's in Groningen and you play there every week until you get to know your crowd and the crowd gets to know you. And so they know what to expect, and the people that really fuck with that, they stay. You're gonna build your crowd up on that, and then you can see that as well. Ting lugar também ku a lot of places they're not used to your sound. So the trick as a DJ is to also be like, okay, how can I mix what they know with my shit?
And then hook them on.
And how do you tell that story? You know what I mean? How do you convey it in a way that that they understand, and then you can like you have them for a bit with stuff that they know, and then you switch into something that's yours or that's your sound. Yeah. And it's all about how you tell that story and how you bring it to how the crowd's going to react. And there are very tough crowds out there as well that you can't just not. They just want what they know, and that's it. It's also the job.
On blast. Which crowd was the crowd that you were all like, what's wrong with these people?
Let me guess.
Suficiente.
Like Denmark. Denmark, they don't seem like Denmark.
Denmark is dope.
Yeah.
They're very like
never mind.
Like in Slovakia.
You got a Danish ex or something that
I hate Denmark now.
Did you do a tour in India also?
Yeah.
Or was it like a full tour?
Yeah, like a 4-show tour or something, 4 or 5 shows.
That looked dope. Like when you posted stuff, I was like, this dude is living.
India is sick. Daarmee gewoon super. like its own world. You know,
it's massive. It feels like those crowds in East Asia and Asia, they're just more open to being surprised, or they're more open to new experiences and stuff, and they get fully embraced in that shit.
I think if I have to bijvoorbeeld compare it to like a Dutch crowd, na Hollanda non stop je verwend, goed muziek, because I feel like a lot of big names come from here. You know what I mean? And it has such a rich music scene and history that they don't really appreciate it.
So I was gonna
like that. I think European crowds they're a bit more bougie in that sense.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So you'd say the Asian crowd is more appreciative than the European market.
Yeah. I've done a couple of Australia tours as well, and that like Australia is also very, very down. You know what I mean, and educated and just happy that you're there. You know what I mean.
But would you say maybe it's with the kind of music, because what I've realized is, like here in Europe, there are a lot more appreciative of like the older American hip hop acts. So like a Wu-Tang, a Nas, let's say, when they come here, the people go crazy. Which in America not, because in America they get to see them all the time.
Right.
But here the European crowd goes crazy for that.
Yeah.
So then would you maybe say it's due to the type of music maybe, or is it just the crowd itself or the market itself?
Well, I guess like a combination of that, and also sitting when ko tabi ni di leo. Ting mas, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I think that's also also plays a role.
Scarcity.
Yeah, if you're the person that comes from far away, it feels special to people as well.
Yeah.
I think that's also plays a role.
What about Antiano crowds? Have you played a lot of shows in front of your own people also?
Bossa, no hopi.
By choice or phone it didn't happen?
Partially, I would say also die gewoon evenementen aan dame no te interesading me sound. You know what I mean? And
which is weird.
A lot of the instances na Curaçao, they run very commercial businesses, and sibawak man mambo bijvoorbeeld of which I have played there before once. Fuck, I don't know if I should say this.
Say it.
Yeah, we can choose what we show, right?
Yeah.
Or does the full length thing come on YouTube?
The idea is not to edit it.
Fuck.
Okay. Don't say anything that's gonna get you into trouble.
Okay.
No quiero
If we wanna cut out some small pieces there, but I should have asked this before we started the fucking podcast.
If we're gonna cut it out, there's no point in saying it. What's it going? Like so.
No, but for us now, we need to know the team. We need to know
when the cameras turned off.
But now, what's that going?
Sir.
But like, is it hard to just get a job, Tommy, with Antillean crowds because de mi experiencia, like people just don't want to pay the right price tampoco?
Is what?
People want to pay the right price. People like people always looking for a deal. Always looking for like. But what I mean, what's it going stuff like that?
So like it's home. It's fuck man. Yeah.
You're trying not to get canceled.
Yeah, I'm trying to like.
Let's move on because we don't want to get more in trouble.
But okay.
Ting diferente cos. What they do after
Bien blocadas.
We can easily imagine because
let me just
quote,
quote Dongo was kung sibung sang non timo di tira fiesta, né? What is
Yeah.
But okay,
si no timo di paga, tu yo tira fiesta.
If you ain't got
palabra, people need to they need to hear that more.
But yeah, it's a tough infrastructure to navigate, I think, as a musician, na Curaçao.
Also in Aruba, because I can imagine Aruba would be maybe a little easier market to tap
I don't know.
into.
I've never been to Aruba before.
At all?
Believe it? No.
Oh wow, okay.
So,
Which is surprising.
Caraca, que 30 diferentes países para Aruba.
Why have you been to Bonaire?
Yes, but as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Touchdown.
It's a cardiac. Mabiba Sen Marta também mano aya.
Oh damn.
Beijing man.
Kiyo?
Is dat Digimon? Ja, Digimon.
I thought you said Digimon.
That's what I heard too. Like, weird reference, but okay.
The 90s kid in you.
Cue the theme song right here.
Hey, Digimon or Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Okay, all right. Cool. Okay, I just have to check before we move on.
We know what came first.
Yeah.
We know who did it better.
Yeah,
We know,
I was going to the doors right there.
we know survived the test of time.
Exactly.
very fair.
But so we thought you've been to more than 30 countries and you've worked with so many different crowds. And it's kind of culminated now to the point that you've now released your first like EP. Your full is that considered your first full EP? Like your first standalone?
Yeah, I would say like my first project.
Yeah,
Ultramar, which I've been working on for like 3 years.
Damn.
I went through a lot of songs. So from the point where I started until assim op het tempo eigenlijk passa at some point me gusta que diga mas switch it out. Switch that out. Which is algo maar echt sinha was ook that I had to go through that experience about. Was ook like to just be less perfectionistic and to just do more. You know what I mean? I think that project taught me a lot. The songs that have survived on that EP that have come out are really songs that's songs that I made over the past 3 years, and though some of them, the one that I made 3 years ago really survived the test of my opinion. You know what I mean?
Because your taste changes, of course.
It changes, and some of them I was just like, I still really love this song, so I want to put it out. You know what I mean? And that also gives me kind of at the same time that validation for myself. And okay, this must be good. You know what I mean?
Well, you killed it.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and then the thing is, like, you killed it in a way that you can recognize that it's you. It's 100% your sound. It sounds very mature in that sense, and like it's like transportable music. When you listen to certain songs, it really puts you in certain mindsets. When Jealous of the Sun, like when you listen to that song, like you're wishing to be at a specific spot. Nakar sao Basilando was it? When you hear like Auburn Eyes, for example, you're thinking, okay, I can see the video clip in my head. So it's a very, you put together a very mature collection of music. It really works together.
Thanks, man.
What would you say is your favorite song on that EP, and why? Does it have a special meaning to you? You say like, yo, this is my jam.
I think, they all have like a special place. That's why they all made it. But I think secretly Auburn Eyes is like one of my favorite. I think my favorite song off the project.
Yeah. And what feeling does it really give you though? Like what does it speak to you whenever you listen to it or you're vibing to it?
It's just one of those tracks that that I myself would want to hear. Nice. I guess you know what I mean.
For yourself,
yeah. I mean, sowieso all the music that I put out, I put out first because I like them. You know what I mean? That's like in terms of like artistic integrity.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I don't put out music. I mean, to a certain extent, you have to find a balance in it, I guess, as well. Pero para mí echt importante because then only I get a feeling of voldoening if it's true to me. You know what I mean? And that changes over time. You know what I mean?
True.
So Auburn Eyes, I guess, is I don't know. There's just a mix of sounds and the roads and like the horns in it, how they sit in the track. It's getting a bit more nerdy, more the mixing aspects of it. And then I don't know if you guys know Cleo Soul.
Yeah, I love Cleo Soul.
Yeah, like that, it kind of models a bit like her sound, but a bit more of that soul swing in it. You know what I mean? And then there's
I can see that.
because I went to Jamaica for the first time last year, January, and met this guy there, and he ended up recording a verse on there, Justice, and so that's the male voice you hear on there, and it all just blends together so nicely.
It really does. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why it sounds so mature. It sounds like as professional as anything else you're gonna hear. Like it doesn't. It doesn't sound like a dude made music. It sounds like music was made. It really comes together. Everything blends.
Yeah.
I have a question about in Jealous of the Sun.
Yeah.
Is it like kind of like after the bridge of the song?
Yeah.
It's like a key change or something, like a groove change that happens. You kind of go from more of like a reggaeton dancehall-ish beat to like more of a
boom
bap
like
beat.
Lo-fi.
Hey, what like I told my kids, Zion, sit down real quick. Hey, like, cause that's my jam. Like, especially because the bridge has the horns come in and everything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's like a key change, like the flow goes in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
But it still works like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it's still like. Do you feel like it still flows?
100%.
Like it's not like a abrupt, a different song. And like
you know why it works so well? Because sometimes in music, you didn't know that's what you wanted to hear. You didn't know that's what you wanted the song to go, the direction you wanted to go into. Because you're vibing, you listen to it, all of a sudden, like, it goes, you enjoyed this? No, hold my hat, boy, and then it goes one step, how to. That part, for me, the favorite part of the whole EP.
Out of the whole EP.
Okay.
Yeah, when it goes through the bridge, the horns come in and everything, and like when I heard that, I was like, damn, this guy really figured it out. Like, because I'm not a musical person, but I really trust my taste.
For you, literally, I watched you play in bands when I was like,
that's
15,
true. So, but that was more getting away with entertainment. Like, I was entertaining folks. I wasn't like,
bro.
Yeah, but
sound too humble, bro.
But the sound really came together, and and then you look at the album cover, and it's like a super smart album cover that works, that makes sense. It speaks to me as Antiano sowieso.
Yeah.
It's like soundtrack of, because you're our age, we grew up in the millennials now, Kòrá and stuff.
Sure.
It really feels like this is music made for me as a person at my age now. Like when the dancehall comes in, it makes sense. When the reggaeton comes in, it makes sense. When the reggae, because is it Plan or Maria or reggae?
The reggae track?
Yeah.
If I could choose.
Yeah. Like that one's like it's full reggae. But they got the high notes in it too. It's like everything makes complete sense. I was like, boy, figured it the fuck out.
Yeah. But then I'm curious, because as you mentioned, there's so many different sounds in that EP. Can you kind of take us through your creative process? Do you have like a certain ritual, or you just go with the flow? Is there some kind of method to your madness? So how just your creative process?
I like to work
with a lot of people in the studio, or you like to be by yourself, or
so there's people who really knock out like 4 or 5 beats a day, like the workers, I would call them.
They're all grinding it.
Yeah, they're grinders, and then there's salibong of zo, because I really like to lock in conceptually. You know what I mean? I'm inspired, and then I'm like, oh, what would this sound like? Ding Iforma Aki.
Yeah.
When Jealous of the Sun, combining that with that. How do I challenge myself to make this flow like seamlessly? Because Jealous of the Sun started off just being like a more like dancehall track, and then eigenlijk it's really funny that you say that that's your favorite bit on the EP, because I had Jealous of the Sun was up until that, like when the dancehall part, that was the end.
Thank God it wasn't.
Yeah, it was the end, and I was sitting on it, and I was just like,
it's missing something.
I feel like this is too easy. Like this is. I feel like this people would expect this. You know what I mean, from me, because I've been doing it for a while, and like that's just kind of the formula. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was like, but how can I kind of seamlessly flow it into an extended part where people don't see it coming? You know what I mean? And that's where the more like hip hop boom bappy sound came from. And
that's exactly my experience. Like I said, like I didn't know when it happened. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know this is actually what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. So that kind of came from that, and like create like thinking very conceptually, like, okay, how can I make this work? And if I could choose like the reggae track, I wanted to make it sound like it sounded new but also old at the same time.
Very much so.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's like a lot of vinyl crackles in there. The vocals are mixed very modern, but then the beat under it is very hoppy doff. You know what I mean? And so kind of making it sound like it was done in the 90s or something. Like
it feels like you had like sample beats from like an old Casio that was used on the reggae band.
Yeah, exactly. And just kind of building on that. So again, very, very conceptual. So I like to work from concepts. Fuck, I've been talking for 5 minutes. But yeah, so I'm not like the worker bee type of producer. I have an idea and then I really like sit down and
work it out.
And work it out.
Yeah, but it seems to be working really, really well for you because yes, this new EP is out, but Amita Basilainda to No Bad Days, man.
Oh wow, that's the first single.
That's my jam. I'm still like to this I to this day I still listen to like Home Daily. It's in my playlist.
When did I drop that? 2019, I think, late 2019, something like that.
Yeah, I remember dropping out like this dude made like a picture with it. Like, it's fucking dope, man. I appreciate this so much. It's so dope.
No Bad Days was a boom bap track.
That's why I like it so much.
It was a boom. It was legit. It was a hip hop beat under there.
Yeah.
And then I sat down with the guy because the dude's from Germany, and I ended up we connected just online, and then I flew over to Germany to work with him on the track. And then I was like, but what if we like try? I wanted to put my own sauce.
Your fingerprint.
And yeah, that's how it kind of became like a soul swing track, but it wasn't originally that what you hear.
But it still has the groove. Like it still has the like summer is here with the barbecue on to chill. Like that it still has that underlying very homey feel.
Yeah.
That's what I like about your music. Your music, it feels, even though it's not, but it feels like it's made for me. Was it like someone took what I need to hear?
I do it for you, brother.
It's really when they basila with your homies at the beach. Basila like in zomertijd, like a nice glass of whiskey.
I mean, you say that, but this dude can also get people dancing, man. When I see his, when I follow you on IG and stuff like that, so whenever you put you in the club, how you get these people to move, man? I'm like, that's a party, bro.
Yeah. Like, cause it seems like it does like there's like the island music and there's like the party, like when you're doing
club.
your thing, the club stuff.
Yeah.
And the club. I played one of your like longer sets one time in the gym.
Yeah.
People were fucking like. People don't ask for the music often in the gym.
Yeah.
They were all like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, different people saw like the people like writing it down and shit. Sometimes we have these bigger classes and stuff. And you need like really good high energy music.
Yeah.
And people were really responding to it, and I'm a proud as fuck you Corso. So I was like,
We'll do that. So that's I guess like that's the duality of Tera Kòrá as well. There's the soft stuff and the more like listen to at home music, and then there's I'm a DJ too, so like I can't play that stuff at 3 a.m. when I'm headlining a show in Indonesia or something like that. You know what I mean? And that's something that I've struggled with for a long time. Yeah. And what comes naturally is like the slower stuff. And quando aku bastante escuchar iba EP behalve bijvoorbeeld Plan, which is a bit more up tempo. But yeah, like this year, I put out Ultramar because I've been starting to move away from the slow sound a bit more.
Okay, dope.
But I put it out because I really, really love the track still, and I needed the world to hear those tracks. But I'll still be Tera Kòrá and play like the Caribbean, the African music, like the diaspora. You know what I mean? Because they're so closely intertwined with each other, with all the history. But ito ba ita gewoon tiki mas up tempo, zeg maar. Dus I'm focusing on like more like club stuff right now, ranging from like me trying to put bijvoorbeeld bubbling music in a new yash.
Yeah, nice.
Miss bubbling music. Dude.
Yeah, but also like genres like bouillon, which is more from the French Caribbean. Yeah, man, like those are the types of things that I play in the club already, and now I want to release more of that type of music as well.
Are you with the music that you're making? You do a lot of collaborations with people. Do you have any plans in the future to also do collaborations with Antiano artists?
Yeah, 100%. I did a session with Ear Size recently.
Oh, nice.
Iri, bro.
Hey.
Hopi talentoso. Super talented, bro.
Yeah, one of my favorites, bro.
We met for the first time. We made it happen through his manager. Anto sa nossa consinta, nossa tem 3 horas de studio. We knocked out 3 tracks. We made like a soul swingy. I'll let you guys listen to it after the podcast. Super soulful, Hopi bon track.
That's all you want. That's all you want.
We did a baile funk track,
nice
as well.
Because that man also is like a Swiss Army knife. He can do the soft shit.
Dude,
he can do the party stuff. He can do like the cultural stuff.
Lo que me gusta de eerste ku eta gewoon open para experimentar. Então eu sei que edge ku timbia me tá senti falta de je ora me assi session com artista de Curaçao bijvoorbeeld of Bonaire of Aruba. Hopi bia me tá hanya ku nanta hopi komodo ding Elaine ku nanta ding. Me juist like I've always been a fan of pushing the envelope. You know what I mean? And how can I bring something
new to the game?
You know what I mean? Like because we can make the same type of tracks that you've always been making, but I don't get a lot of satisfaction from that. You know what I mean? And I don't think that really feeds my soul in any type of way. Dus e plantei eigenlijk bakit mi trariba album focus riba artista ng the ABC eilanden, but have them all do something else than what they did. So it'll be an album who but escucha bijvoorbeeld J-On riba J, pero the track that he's gonna hop on of style kung riba track is just not what he usually does.
What he's known for.
The open chance that he's in the craving opportunity to do something off the cuff. Like maybe there's like a flow that J-On himself is like the hope gaan niet test. Ik ook like higher frequency of tiki mas rap piece of algo, but he doesn't place to fit it in his own work. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are really open to the idea of salagami si algo. Let me let the foot off the brakes. Was
But wait, I want to take it back a little bit. Because Weibo mentioned Tera Kòrá not to buy. It's not gonna disappear. So my personal question is, what I'm curious is, how did the Legend of Kòrá come about? The inspiration, the artwork, obviously.
That's when I became a really big fan. Legend of Kòrá stuff.
So can you elaborate home? So take us through that journey of the Legend of Kòrá.
So I think so. I was making even the remixes I was doing, the soul swing stuff. It was very slow, and I was getting these bookings out, and it was hard to perform my music. And so I kind of came to how can I keep doing what I'm doing with the soul swing stuff, but also make stuff that I could play in the club. And so conceptually, I started thinking of how can I turn it into a project so it's its own thing. And went through a couple of ideas, and I remember watching The Legend of Kòrá, growing up, just Avatar.
We'll get there.
Good shit. And just my love for... okay. The last Airbender was, I will agree, it was the better one of the series.
Okay,
There's a new one coming out.
I saw, I'm not scared.
But just because the first one is better doesn't mean the second one is bad, dude. This guy is so black and white.
Go ahead.
The one episode of Naruto is good. All of the other ones are bad. That's
go ahead.
Dus ik wil gewoon bini di this necessity to play more stuff in the club.
Okay.
Anto I think I was rewatching The Legend of Kòrá at that point. Like I was rewatching the whole Avatar series. And I was like, this could be cool. Because essentially what I'm doing is I'm creating remixes, right? The remixes, they're bootlegs, illegal bootlegs. Then it would make sense conceptually if whatever the concept name is as well is also a bootleg. So that's where that came from.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
So I had this illustrator friend, this girl, super talented, Nada, and we just started building, and then we went through a couple sketches and found the right one, and I was like, how can I still implement Curaçao tambe? artwork. Dus
yeah.
dingen voor mij artwork bijvoorbeeld, beting, you have me and like the kind of like that avatar state. Pero na banda, links, rechts, botem mira tour gekleurde huisjes. Na punda.
Ja, handelskade.
Ja, precies. En to the second one bijvoorbeeld, botem een vissersbootje ding. Awa. Die tres, boting gewoon na dat boting full Christoffelberg trein mee.
Never noticed.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, check it. But it's like a literal like identical. Dus and you have some of the plants and like the trupial met de bully ding. So all of those things are like direct influences. So that's kind of how that came about, to do those to make more club music. Yeah. And I guess what I'm doing right now is the Legend of Kòrá stuff. I'm gonna turn those into like taking that same concept but for original music as well. Stuff that'll be on like Spotify.
Yeah.
Are you gonna jump on the vocal tracks as well eventually, or are you like, nah, I'm good?
Because I read somewhere you were taking singing classes. So you know.
Kanta bro. Kanta gewoon. You got this.
La vida long. No, mita canta na gas. Riba mi tracks lang, pero resto no.
When you're ready, we'll hear it. When you're ready, we'll hear it.
Yeah. It's something where I want my vocals to be on the level that my instrumentals are.
I feel you.
I want them both. That's always gewoon mijn uitgangspunt.
Yeah.
The vocals and the beat should be feeding each other. Not the vocals living off of the beat, a beat living off of the vocals. You know what I mean? Like this, but yeah, that's just a whole different, like me being very critical, and you know what I mean? Like,
so
what's like the next big thing for you? Like, you have the EP out now, and you've built up this network of, and you have your pedigree of performance that you do. Like, for us as viewers from the outside looking in, what's like the next big thing for you? What are you working on? What is something that gets you like in your passions and everything? What can we look forward to from seeing from you?
Ja, toevallig gaan we met papiano com mi graphic designer, un guy di Aruba, Valentino, and we were just talking about all the projects that we're working on right now. One of them is this cool fuck it, I'm just say everything.
Yes.
Okay.
We got that exclusive.
We got the inside.
Yeah, there's this concept that I want to do. I just dropped this video of like this DJ set I did na Mirador, Santa Marta.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my next question.
That was really dope.
So I want to turn that into a series, and we want to pitch that to.
Nice.
We're working on pitching that to different companies for funding, so I can kung si pabula bike or so and to shoot like 3 of those motherfuckers, and then also attach a party to it in like a new location.
No,
no.
Check them out, yeah.
But they're in the pool of people. Esse uncos outro tá album comida papiano DJ. I think that will be a gradual that will take some time to happen. You know what I mean? Also getting in the studio with the right people, like so kung I want to mi kasi algo dongo iri ba mapapi ko iski ka ba pari tra ko iri Jeon mi loke echt tra ko ne even bijvoorbeeld bosa kung Porta Rich of zo algo completamente outro ko accustomed to J. But I want that to be something for the islands, you know what I mean? And hopefully also appeal to a more international audience, because like, to be fair,
the music's good.
Papiamento is algo tame ku hindi rond muna ta vibe riba just bawa kiko irsay sa accomplish ku Dream Girl bijvoorbeeld.
Pero Jeon mis tambe.
Ja.
Pero kinanambe makamo ng Holandees nang sorry. Holandees nang ora bota ka kone so nan it's impossible not to like was I go.
Yeah. So.
But if we do that just pa ting track explica nang konto so ho de bom. So botin touring nang to so ho de pronto se robes. All these different cultures that use it in the wrong way. So if you bring out a track, just make sure or instrumental or instructional. Así que tú usas palabras.
Like how much time music, leave someone else responsible for teaching people about hood.
Como que men, hoorde pa meneer kung Hollandees en de
no, dat is gewoon in context. Maar zo op je Marokkaan, Hollandees, etc. Dan doen ze palabras hoorde, but not in the right context. So dat betekent it doesn't fit at all.
Is that a pet peeve of yours?
Yeah, it is kind of. Yeah.
It is cringe. It is.
Yeah,
cringe.
if you use it, which is flattery, because everybody uses the word, pero hoe zeg bom?
What about na bisabu? Kon ik zo? Oh ja, even wakker broer.
Yeah.
I mean, Carolina, the melting pot, die asina hoop, differente culturen, and like each one has their words that make it into street slang, zeg maar, and it blends so seamlessly together. But yeah, a lot of people don't know how to use it. And oh man, I fucking hate it when like the
here we go.
Como ita bisa ko in
politically correct way.
Yeah, exactly.
Half this podcast is like, how do I say this and not get canceled?
Sad. Like gewoon weet je, een guy uit Amsterdam of zo, gewoon super white, en tot gewoon meneer usa cierta palabra con cierto accent. Like you said, like you're not using it right, bro.
Yeah.
And like
overtuiging zien, en dat is ik ook meneer te zien het tafel zo.
Sad.
Ja, ik was naar die feestje geweest en er was tanto heel veel mensen daar.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not using it right. You're not using it right.
Dutch people use tanto, so ik weet ik zijn maat.
Yeah, bro. Tanto. Yeah, or like there. I remember I was working with this guy, and I was doing parties with this dude like back in like 17 or 18 or something, and he would always use "faka" the wrong way. He would say like, I mean, it's Saranang, of course. He would say like, ja, dat vind ik echt niet chill, gozer. Dat is echt "faka," man. And I'm just I don't know.
Hey, you guys hit him with the softball questions? I'm gonna go get Kenville real quick.
Alright, cool. Yeah, man. That'll be back. But yeah, so was looking at your Insta, right? Eclectic. But I gotta say, I saw a picture with Georgia Smith, right?
Oh yeah.
Is that real or is that photoshopped?
No, that's real.
That's real? Oh, okay. Because how did that come about though? What is meeting her like? Was that going? How was it experiencing?
It was a short conversation.
Short conversation.
This was 2019, so this was a year after I dropped the remix. And because the remix basically kind of launched me into doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
At that time, I played at this festival called Lowlands.
Yeah.
And I was in the artist village, which is like where all the catering is, and like the artists get to hang out. And I saw her, and I was like, I have to. Go thank her, you know what I mean? Like, because an illegal bootleg that I made of her track kind of got me like sort of here in a certain way. So yeah, I just walked up to her, chatted to her for like 5 to 10 minutes. She was super down to earth,
super cool,
calm.
That's nice. It's always nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was
cool.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to put you a little bit on blast because you have sinned in the eyes of the Antiano on IG. Because as you mentioned earlier, you were in Jamaica, filming up your tracks.
Yeah.
And in one of your stories, you said that the Jamaican patty is better than pastiche. Do you still stand by that?
Wow.
Do you still stand by that?
I did say that. Wow. And I won't fully backtrack, but I will say that they're just different.
That is also
different.
true. That is
they're
also
different,
true.
And for the new experience that I had at that moment, I was like, this is better. I like this. But
it's one of the clicks of views.
It is just different. The filling is different. It's a lot more gooey.
Yeah, the dough is also completely different.
Dough is completely different.
Yeah,
so and having just been past December, come pari hopi bom pastiche. Pari hopi bom Johnny Cake tambe. I was like, Johnny Cake sto ba na Ninis?
Ninis, man. Sto ba? Wala si we garo mo.
Amigo mi frei mati tu meinta.
Eko libanesa. Pang libanesa.
Dookie, to answer you, like, I don't think patties are better than pastichi.
Okay.
They are different.
Sure.
They're both really good.
You can hand him his Antiano card back. You can
Komt in de post.
I sound politically correct, but I do mean it.
I promise I mean it.
Those are one of the things that I want to try as well. Like, because I went to the UK and I tried their patties as well, which is also similar to our pastichi. Our pastichi is better. The beef patty I had as well, but I don't know if it's the same as what you get in actual Jamaica. So I need to try that.
Yeah.
But food is delicious, man. It's what connects us, right?
Exactly. And I did go to the best patty spots in Kingston because I was staying with locals.
Yeah. So they show you where to get the good stuff.
They showed me where to get the good stuff.
Yeah,
so,
nice.
Speaking of, bro, I fucking love what you guys do with Kunuku spices.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Every time I see Dookie pop up, I'm like,
here we go.
I'm hamburong. Let's go. I'm hamburong.
You see my face pop up and like, am I gonna be hungry or am I gonna be furious at the bullshit that he's gonna make?
I've made bad decisions after watching your video. Basta nung spot ko like
yeah, there you go.
Hey, if you ever want to be in a video, you're more than welcome. We could do a little something together.
I'd love to actually. Like I told Dado before as well. I really like that, and I also like that you guys go really out of the box time with trying weird shit
stuff
out of pocket.
Yeah,
insulting to some people.
Yeah, but
I bet you. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like a major chunk of the crazy ideas is from Graham.
Graham trying to get us canceled. Graham wants the first scandal. He wants something that's going to get people irate.
I'm going to go through me.
We all have a job.
How can I rile the people up tomorrow? You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. How can I piss some people off?
A couple of them are my own, just to see if I could. Like, for example, like the Kool-Aid one. I never said that it was going to be a good idea.
No.
But I'm like, could I though?
Yeah.
Would it work?
And sometimes that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough, bro. So.
I know I can do it. I'm not going to do it again. It was done.
One and done.
Before we close off, there's a question that we want to make a tradition of asking our people. There's a lot of people who like are fans of you and follow you. Maybe a lot of people also who look up to you and who are also maybe interested in making a career of music.
Yeah.
But an important way to think about it always is, what was the biggest struggle that you had to go through that taught you the biggest lesson? If you look back now, what was something that you had to experience that was a big thing to go through for you, but it actually taught you something important?
Yes.
I would say that just because it isn't there doesn't mean that you can't make it work. You know what I mean? Right. I feel like there's a lot of Ethiopian na Corso of Aruba Bonaire ku gusto un cierto tipo de music. Say nanke hasi and that they want to grow in that. But there's no infrastructure there for it to support them in that way. And so I feel like a lot of people that do music nante queda de un cierto lane because that's what makes them money, zeg maar. That's, I mean, like, at the end of the day, they be able to sing. To travel placa, si boke biba di music.
Yes.
And I am speaking from a privileged position ku makumisa si music aki na ulana. So I had more freedom. There was more of an infrastructure for it. Pero maybe sa no tiene miedo di follow lo que abo que asi. To what speaks to your heart, and don't be afraid to go outside of those borders and explore and test and try out. If I never released that Georgia Smith track, I don't know if I would be here right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Very fair.
This, it sounds super cliche, right? But it's cliche because
it's true.
It rings true to a certain degree. Follow your heart in that and do what you want to do and no worry mucho with the opinion of others. Mita kara ora mabingko en number Tera Kòrá mes. Tating un persona ku etapa ta ke book me. Ante di kibo artist name ta because it was very early. Anto mabisa Tera Kòrá ante la rimi hong mane taki ko isa. Taki en
nonsense eluso.
Ito ko hindi ko net mapupunta di ko tahara di sa ko hong Ito so na estranho.
Can I do something for you?
What's up?
Look Look at him now.
Yeah, look at him.
Look at him now. Look at him now.
Eat your words, boy.
Ja, dat in persona eten. It look at me op different now, tambe. Dus ik book me pas zo fiesta. You know what I mean? But I also don't want it to sound too negative. You know what I mean? I just think that como yende lang, anto vooral als je como grow up, de un very small community. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Corsoto fucking chiqui.
Yeah.
Tres is lang hoe tama din chiqui.
Sa, exactly. Anto tin gewoon certain norms, anto manera pasikos. Anto sibo mane bayon tiki pa for yourself, like outside of what is, I guess, normal or what's done. And tabay wabos trayon tiki. And I guess the other advice that I want to give is that you have to be comfortable with that. Anto para de mo sapato na ko pa anto push daar doorheen, zeg maar.
Yeah.
So rin mira ko algo, zit ko vervelo tambe. Ora rin mira ko algo ta successful or algo ta tra of ko mira ko ta making certain steps ko popota proud DJ, zeg maar. Very love to be, you know.
Yeah, true.
So, but I think that counts with anything else
in life. So.
If you go outside of the norm a little bit, people are skeptical. You know?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So.
All right. As we log off, anything you want people to be checking out right now? Where can they find you? Where can they find what you're working on? What's the best place people to become more of a fan of you that they might already be?
Where should they follow you? What handles do you have?
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify.
Tera Kòrá everything.
Yeah, Tera Kòrá.
SoundCloud.
By Escucha Me EP. Ultramar, out now. Check it out. There's reggae on there. There's dance hall. There's Afrobeat.
Todo de poco.
Neo soul ting algo paturende.
Algo paturende.
Anto.
Algo bong paturende ambe.
Huh?
Algo bong paturende ambe. It's like a full plate of food worth of music.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe it, go listen to it and then tell Daryl if he's wrong.
Yeah. So, go listen to it and prove me right.
If you but if you don't like it,
we didn't do that shit. No.
Like it's cool.
Like, good is good, period. Like, at some point, it's not even a matter of taste anymore. You have certain things that are just good.
Yeah.
So go check it out. Go give him support, not just because he deserves it, because Antiano, but because he worked hard for it too. Check out the music. Go follow him on Instagram. You can check out all the shows that he's doing. Hopefully, a show that some of us maybe can participate in also in the future. Yeah. A show close to home.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for coming. Thank you for showcasing music talent that we have on Corso in such a big way, in such a profound way, making impact in a way that really touches people, and not just make music. You're making music for a generation, making music for people's experiences, and I think that's an important thing. It's an honorable work that you're doing. Yeah. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for coming on the show and blessing us as well.
Yes. Appreciate you guys.
And, go check him out. Everything he's doing, like. If you're not a fan now, you're going to be a fan for sure. That's how easy it is.
Sowieso.
All right. And thanks for watching. Do all the algorithmic stuff. Comment, like, share.
Subscribe.
Comment. All the stuff. Click all the buttons.
You know what? They know what by now. They know what to do. They know what to do.
Now.
We've said it so many times. They know what they got to do.
But more specifically, go check out Tera Kòrá. Give him a big shout out.
Ultramar out
him, share
now.
with your homies as well. Spread the love because it's that good. All right. Peace. Next time.
Appreciate it.